it's Josie, Elliot, Matthew. We miss you. Can't wait to see you soon. Bye.
Every word I say, I wanna live each day and tell the story. I found the one who has a love deep as the ocean. I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna put my faith in motion. Oh, 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 oh. Jump, jump, jumping in. Oh, 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 oh. Jump, jump, jumping in. My world to know, I wanna let it show. The one who made me whole lives inside of me. With every breath I take, with every word I say, I wanna live each day and tell the story. I found the one who has a love deep as the ocean. I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna put my faith in motion. Oh, 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 into my city, gonna jump into my world. Gonna live to share my love with every boy and every girl. Gonna jump into my city, gonna jump into my world. Gonna live to share my love with every boy and every girl. Oh, 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 oh. Jump, jump, jumping in. Oh, 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 oh.
Hey kids, I hope you had a great week and I hope you're doing some fun summer things. Hey, what are some fun summer things that you've already done or are planning on doing? Maybe get mom or dad to email me some pictures or text me some pictures and I can post them in our lessons in weeks to come. Anyway, happy Sunday. Oh, look at my new shirt. You see it? Can you read it? This shirt is from Stephen and Bailey Zabrowski. I was so excited when they gave it to me at church. And you know what it says? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Remember that? Yes, the fruits of the Spirit that we studied for 9 weeks. It was such a great time learning. But thank you again, Stephen and Bailey, for my special present. I do hope that you're enjoying family God time with us and enjoying the lessons that we put together. We love and we miss you. I see some of you, some of our e-kids coming to Big Church on Sundays. We've had church for 2 Sundays. We worship together. We listen to Pastor Thomas Steele's message. It lasts about an hour. The whole service lasts about an hour. And seriously, it is one of my favorite hours of the week. I hope to see more of you next Sunday. Of course, we will all be so grateful when we can have e-kids again in person. But until then, we will make the best of what God has made available to us. This week, our lesson is called Promises, Promises. Do you know what a promise is? It's when someone says they're going to do something and they say, I promise, wanting to declare that they're telling the truth. Example, I promise I'm coming to see you tomorrow. So you would fully expect to see me because I promised. I gave you my word. Or, I promise to buy some ice cream for you tomorrow. You would fully expect me to come and buy you some ice cream tomorrow. But what if a friend promised to invite you for a sleepover tonight? You were so excited. Your bags were packed and nothing happened. You never heard another word that day or night about the sleepover. Your heart was hurt. You were very disappointed. Boys and girls, it is sad, but it is also true. People will sometimes break their promises.
I know, it's so exciting, but you can't tell anyone because I want it to be a surprise. Promise? Okay, talk to you later. Bye. That was my friend Monica. I was just telling her, well, I can't tell you because it's a secret. But anyway, I know I can trust Monica not to tell anyone because after all, she promised me she wouldn't tell. So, hold on, I'm getting a text. What? That's my friend Brooke that just texted me, and she told me that Monica just texted her all about the secret that she promised me she wouldn't tell. That really hurts. Monica promised me she wouldn't tell, but then she broke her promise. Has something like that ever happened to you? Maybe you're like me, and someone promised not to share a secret of yours, but ended up telling it anyway. Or maybe your parents promised to pick you up from school and take you somewhere special, but then they totally forgot. When someone makes a promise and doesn't keep it, it can really hurt your feelings, huh? Promises are made to be kept, but sometimes people make mistakes and they don't keep their promises. People aren't perfect, and that can be really hard for us to deal with sometimes. But thankfully, there's someone who is perfect. God. He's perfect in every way, and he will never let us down. There's a pretty cool verse in the Bible that says, "Let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep his promise." Hebrews 10:23. Isn't that awesome? God can be trusted. He always keeps his promises. Even when others let you down, God never will. In your lesson today, you're going to learn all about how God keeps his promises. He has made thousands of promises in the Bible, but he's never broken a single one, and he never will. Well, until next time, see ya!
Wow. Have you ever trusted someone not to tell one of your secrets and then they let you down? It hurt. But as you just heard, God can be trusted. He will never break a promise. He gives so many promises in his word, the Bible, and he never breaks a promise. Hey, Big Ray is back to share what you gotta know. It's all yours, Big Ray.
What you gotta know? What you gotta know? What you gotta know? What you gotta know?
Hey there, kids. I'm Big Ray, and I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we're talking about how God keeps his promises. So today, every time you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them all of God's promises are true. God has made a lot of promises in his word. He promised he would never leave you, and that's true. He promised he would provide for you. That's true too. He promised thousands of things in his word, and every single one of those promises are true. So today, every time you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them all of God's promises are true. And that right there is what you gotta know. This is Big Ray, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
What you gotta know?
Well, it is Bible story time, my favorite Elevate Bible. And today's Bible story can be found in the book of Genesis, beginning in chapter 17 all the way to chapter 21. And it's all about a man named Abraham and his wife, Sarah. See, Abraham and Sarah wanted to have a child. but they were really, really old. In fact, they were older than most of your great-grandparents. I mean, Abraham was 99 years old, and Sarah wasn't much younger. She was 90 years old. Now, have you ever heard of a 90-year-old lady having a baby? No way. That's crazy. Most moms with babies are in their 20s or in their 30s or maybe their early 40s. Now, I want you to think about that, which I just said, while I tell you what happened next. One day, Abraham, remember he's 99 years old, Abraham heard from God. It was a very special moment. Can you imagine God speaking to you? Abraham knew it was God, so he listened very closely. God said to Abraham, Abraham, I promise that you will be a father of many nations. Abraham thought, what? No way! I would have been thinking the same thing. How could he become the father of many nations? He was almost 100 years old without a child. Well, one day, not long after God made that promise to Abraham, Abraham was working on his land when 3 important men came by. And Abraham chose to honor them by inviting them to stay for a nice lunch. They accepted the invitation and sat down in front of Abraham and his tent to eat with him. Well, one of the men told Abraham, Abraham, this time next year your wife will have a son. At that point, Abraham was sure that God had been telling the truth when he made the promise. However, Sarah overheard the man and she actually laughed. She said to herself, that's crazy. I'm too old to have a child. Remember, she's 90 years old. Sarah was not sure it was possible for her to have a baby at such an old age. But God had different plans. Remember, he promised Abraham that Sarah would have a child. And they found out what you are going to find out in your lesson today. And that is that whatever God promises, he will do. And for Abraham and Sarah, he did what he promised. A year later, just like God had said, Sarah had a baby boy named Isaac. Isaac would go on to have children and grandchildren who would be leaders of many nations just like God promised. Today, we'll learn the importance of trusting God no matter what, because God always keeps his promises. Hello?
Yes. Hello, is this Miss Jackie Carr?
Yes, this is Jackie Carr.
Hello, Miss Jackie Carr. This is Miss Peggy Promise. And I'm calling to make you a promise. Listen, I need to ask you a question. Are you feeling as old as you're looking these days? Because seriously, I saw you from afar at Elevate Church last week and you are looking rather old, darling. I'm sorry to tell you, but I promise I always tell the truth and nothing but the truth. But never fear, because I have the cream you need, Miss Jackie Carr. It will perk up your saggy jaws. It will perk up your saggy jaws. It will perk them right back up. I promise, darling. I promise. It's miracle. It's like a miracle cream in a bottle. I promise. You need a miracle, Miss Jackie Carr.
Well, I suppose I have a few good days and a lot of bad days.
You do believe me, right? You do believe me. Just go get your credit card. Go get that credit card. It will be done, Miss Jackie Carr. You will have the miracle you need in a bottle in just 3 days.
Miss Peggy Promise, I don't think I will be getting my credit card. You have a blessed day. Goodbye. Boys and girls, you have to know that everyone's promises are not true. I might need a miracle in a bottle for a saggy jaw, but I can promise I didn't believe her for a second. That miracle in a bottle would not keep its promise. And that reminds me of a commercial I truly believed when I was a little girl. It was Mr. Bubble.
Hey kids, heard about the new bubbly way to take a bath? With Mr. Bubble.
Got a bubbly face and a bubbly nose.
Mr. Bubble.
He'll bubble you clean and soften your skin.
Mr. Bubble.
He'll bubble your nose and bubble your chin. It's so much fun when you hop in with
Mr. Bubble.
Yep, I thought when my mom bought me Mr. Bubbles, finally I got Mr. Bubbles. I had been wanting Mr. Bubbles for a long time. And I thought when we put that in the bathtub that bubbles were going to be floating up from the water and I would be popping them just like was in the commercial. That didn't happen at all. And I felt like a promise had been broken.
Yeah. What you gotta know.
Boys and girls, whatever God promises, He will do. He did it for Abraham and Sarah. He promised them a baby, and they had a baby boy, just like God promised. He did it for Moses. He promised He would deliver the Israelites from slavery and bring them to the promised land. And He did. He did it for Noah. He told Noah that it would rain for 40 days and 40 nights and flood the earth, and it did. He also told Noah that his family would be safe from the flood, and they were. He did it for Mary. He told her she was going to have a baby boy that would be the Savior of the world, and 9 months later, Jesus was born. He did it over and over again throughout the Bible. God promised a lot of people things, and every single time He came through. Whatever God promises, He will do. And that leaves us one choice when it comes to God's promises, and that is we must trust God no matter what. Well, we have a power verse with our lesson today, and it is in Hebrews 10:23. That's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 23. And it says, "For God is to be trusted to keep His promise." That has been the whole theme of today's lesson. Let's do it together. Hebrews 10:23. Again, Hebrews 10:23. For God can be trusted. For God can be trusted to keep His promise. Let's do it one more time. Hebrews 10:23. For God can be trusted to keep His promise. Well, boys and girls, it's about time for Miss Shannon to join us, and I promise that her object lesson is going to be fantastic. I promise you are going to want to give this a try, but I promise there will be a trust problem with it all. Is there one word you heard me say a lot? I promise I won't say it again before I turn it over to Miss Shannon. It's all yours, Miss Shannon.
Miss Jackie just made a lot of promises. Do you guys think that I can make this cool enough to keep those promises? I think a lot of you guys said yes. That's because you trust Miss Jackie. In our lesson today, we heard a lot about having to trust God. Just like Abraham and Sarah, that's a crazy story because they were so old. Do you guys see how Abraham and Sarah, they trusted God's word and what God said actually came true?
I was getting ready to show you guys the object lesson, but I just realized I need a helper. We'll be right back, and I'm gonna have a surprise for you. Okay guys, I'm here. We're getting ready to ring the doorbell. Your surprise is getting ready to happen. Let's see. Who do you think it's gonna be? I'm gonna turn around so that you can be just as surprised.
Oh my gosh, is that you, Miss Shannon?
It is me, Miss Jackie. I was wondering if you could be a helper for me today.
A helper? A helper for what?
Can you help me do an object lesson?
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so much fun! I get to be a helper. Yes, come here, Miss
And guess what?
Shannon.
We promise it's gonna be good.
Oh, we promise it's going to be good.
Okay, kids, I got Miss Jackie here. She's gonna be my helper, and we're gonna try to keep this promise that this object lesson is going to be amazing.
I'm excited.
All right, guys, so I have a glass jar and some water. We're gonna pour that in there.
Uh-oh.
Miss Jackie, you think you'll let me hold this water over your head? I promise you won't get wet.
You promise?
Promise.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm gonna turn it upside down though.
Oh, wait.
So,
Oh, I think I've done this before, okay? Okay. Over my head.
over her head. Do you guys think I can pull this paper away?
No, you can't take the paper away. No. Wait a minute.
Look up.
Oh my goodness! There's water in there!
I promised her she wouldn't get wet. And did you trust me?
No.
No, but you've got to trust me.
I
because
trust you now, but I'm still a little nervous.
I promised you that you wouldn't get wet.
Uh-oh.
But guys, check this out. You think that I have some magic trick? It still comes out.
Wow! You kept your promise,
I
Miss
kept your
Shannon.
promise, Miss Jackie, and you did not get wet.
I did not get wet. That was awesome. Give me 5.
Woo! Hey guys, you guys can try that at home, but there is a little special secret I want to show you so that you don't soak your mom or dad or your brother or sister. If you're gonna do this, well, you gotta put a screen right over the top, and there's some special science that happens when we take away the paper. I hope that you guys have a really great week. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie.
Love you, Miss Shannon. Love you, me kids.
Love you guys. Bye.
So, did you guys notice that in our lesson today, Miss Jackie trusted me and I kept my promise? That reminds me of our Bible verse that we learned about. For God can be trusted and keep his promise. And we found that in Hebrews 10:23. So we have to remember there's only one choice when it comes to God's promises. I hope you guys had fun and learned something. Well, I miss you. I'll see you soon.
Hey kids! Where's Miss Jackie? Miss Jackie! Where are you? I guess I'm late. And she didn't wait for me. Ugh! Good grief. Well, I love you, wee kids. Maybe I'll be with you next week. I don't know. Do 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 do. I didn't learn what you gotta know. Ugh. Love you, wee kids.
Well, that's all the time we have for E-Kids Church today. Remember to pray every single day and let your light shine for Jesus by finding someone to serve. But now, a special goodbye from Poppy and Miss Jackie. See you next week.